Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, YouTube. Ali here again. Recording a video. I know this is a little bit out of order as far as the seven cardinal articles of faith. The most important article of faith is this one, which is to believe in the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And actually, the Quran has the best answer for anyone that wants to know about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In chapter 112, Surah 112 of the Quran. Pardon my Arabic recitation here, but basically the Quran says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Qul huwa Allahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam ya'alid wa lam yulad, wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Which basically means, and I'll use the Pictorial translation here, say, He is Allah the One, Allah the Eternal, besought of all. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten, and there is none comparable to him, unto him. So basically, that is the answer in the Quran as to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. But when we say believe in the believe in the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what exactly are we talking about? Well, basically, including what is written there in the uniqueness of Allah, that He has no partner. There is no partner of Allah. That Allah is, self-sufficing. Doesn't need anyone there to assist Him in any of the day-to-day runnings, if you want to call it that, of heaven and earth. He's an indivisible in person. He is eternal. He's infinite. Doesn't have any limit as to what he is. He has neither beginning nor end. And I think the surah also says that he's the eternal. He is the Almighty, the All-Knowing, the All-Just, the Cherisher of all the worlds, the Guide, the Helper, the Merciful, the Compassionate, and the list goes on. There are 99 different attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala listed in the Quran. There are many videos here on YouTube that you can find that brothers have actually gone and created on the 99 attributes. If you can't find it and you'd like me to create a video with the 99 attributes, no problem, just let me know and I'll create one listing them. A question might arise, well, where is Allah? Where is God? The answer to that is everywhere. The Muslim belief is God is closer to you than your jugular vein. And we all know where our jugular vein is. So God is closer to us than that vein. So that goes to show how close He is to us. And if He is close to me and close to you, then He has to be in multiple places at the same time. So He is everywhere. All right? Does Allah know all of your actions? Yes, Allah knows all of your actions. He knows whatever you do, whether it's good or whether it's bad. Even your secret thoughts, like if my thought right now after this video is to go drink a nice glass of orange juice, Allah will know that, right? One question might arise. It's a question that you think would arises from a lot of atheists. They would ask the question, what has God done for you? Well, outside of creating me and everything else around me, outside of providing me for sustenance, outside of God giving me the ability to take care of myself, there's nothing else that God has really done. But if you take those things in consideration, God has done everything for me. Without God creating me and everything else around me, I wouldn't be here today. So God has done everything for me. Our belief is once we pass away and enter into the day of resurrection, in the day of judgment, whatever good deeds that I've done, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward me for those, and whatever bad deeds I've done, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward me for those as well. Um, so, the goal in every Muslim's life is to um, accumulate as much good deeds as possible. And actually, one of the teachings of Islam, as far as competition with brothers and sisters, is to vie in good deeds. And this is something that every Muslim should really work towards, which is, competing with each other for good deeds. And I think a lot of Muslims, we forget that. And instead of, trying to help each other and help our society and everything else like that, we've gotten to the point where we are only concerned with ourselves. And I think this is something that we really need to work on, that we should definitely work on competing with each other for good deeds, not for selfish reasons, but for the future life that we'll have, and also for the betterment of our fellow mankind. um, then the other question will come that how do you know what is the will and commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And basically that comes from the teachings of the various prophets and the books that were revealed. And as Muslims, we go to our Nabi Muhammad Mustafa Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam for all of our teachings, as far as the way he lived his life is basically how we should model our life. And the Quran, the Al-Quran is basically the book that we go to for, um, for guidance, because it's the last revealed book. It's the book that has every code of ethic in there for our betterment, for us to learn about, you know, how to gain the nearness of God. And with saying that, actually, a lot of people wonder what Islam means. Islam is actually means the submission to the orders and commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So basically, when a Muslim says that he belongs to the religion of Islam, he means that he belongs to the religion of submitting to the will of God. Islam is just the Arabic word for submitting to the will of God. So that's basically that. And you'll hear a lot of Muslims, for those of you that are non-Muslims, talk about Iman. Iman basically means faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To basically have firm and sincere belief. A lot of people say, I believe I can fly, but they really don't believe that they can fly. They just say it, because it's in the song, right? No, but this just goes to show you. I mean, just to give you an example, they say that I believe I can do this. I believe I can do that, but they don't really believe that they can do that. They just they just say it, and that's not what Iman is. Iman is when you really believe from the core of your bones that this is the truth, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is God, and we follow His teachings from the Quran and from our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And with that, I would like to end the video. And again, for my brothers and sisters out there that would like to go to the Quran, the best chapter to figure out God is, like I said, Surah 112, Surah Ikhlas, where God basically gives a perfect description of Himself in 4 ayahs of the Quran. With that said, I'd like to end this video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.